Hey everybody, Buck coming to you, and what we're going to talk about right now is what to do now. In other words, most of you watching this video, this is a training video of how to get you started in Doobly the right way. You know, one of the things that has to happen is that we've got to get you plugged into our system because communication is really, really important, especially in your first 90 days of getting involved in Doobly. So what you're going to want to do right now, number one, is that you're going to want to either email us or go to our website, VIP.MVP.com, and make sure you sign up for our newsletter. What we do is that we are in constant communication, different road tours with Michael and I, different promotions, different trips. We just want you to know what's going on in our team with MVP so that you're included and you don't miss anything. In other words, things are changing so fast with all the exciting news. We just want you to know what's going on. And let me ask you a question. If you had spent $1 million to get involved in Doobly, in other words, imagine that you wrote Michael Hansen, you wrote Doobly a check for $1 million. How serious would you take that business? And I can promise you, I've heard Michael say so many times, if everyone that got involved in Doobly literally had to give him a check for $1 million, they'd be a vice president, senior vice president in no time. So do me a favor and please take this information seriously and make sure you're checking off the things that we're talking about right now. So first thing is email us and make sure you get signed up for the newsletter. And number two is you want to pick an order. Now I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. Most of you watching this more than likely already did your order, which is why you're watching this. But you have to realize that when you get started, whether you get started at A, B, C, or D, A is a team member, right around $600, you're at 5%. B is a TLA, again, you're at 10%. You now have the partnership training program included in that. You're now able to get the 15 VIP vouchers, the 100 trial vouchers as well. And then, of course, what's going to happen here is that you're going to be able to get the majority of your money back just off the vouchers. And, of course, so, again, treat it like a business. If you want to get started as a TLA, get started at B. C is the TLA Platinum, is $6,000. You're getting all the same stuff as a TLA. You're getting the $9.99 partner training, the 10%, the 15 VIP vouchers, the 100 trial vouchers. Again, you're getting almost $1,900 back when you get your 15 customers. And then, of course, you're getting 25 for each one of them from Doobly. And then, of course, you've got your 100 vouchers, which are at $500. You basically got your $2,500 back. And that's not even including if you go out and get 3 TLAs yourself. In any calendar month, you're picking up another $2,250 with your Unilevel and Faster. Basically, you can show a brand new TLA how to get almost $4,000 in their first 30 to 90 days if they follow our system. The TLA Platinum, as I said there, for $6,000, you get all that, plus you're getting one business voucher. That one business voucher, as you know, a business like this mortgage company would spend about $7,000 to co-brand that portal. Let's say this was called ABC Mortgage. They'd spend $7,000 to co-brand it, and then $500 a month. So that's just in that first year, that's about $13,000. You're getting all the TLA plus that one business voucher for the TLA Platinum. And then, of course, the TLA Elite is the same thing except you're getting 3 vouchers. Okay, so when you can show someone how to take A, roughly $600 and turn it into $625, or B, take $2,500 and turn it basically into $4,000, or C, take $6,000 and turn it into around $13,000, $14,000, or D, take that $12,000 and turn it into over $40,000. It's not real hard to find people that are business-minded that want to get started at these different. And so again, whatever you feel comfortable is where you want to get started. All I want to tell you is that people are going to do what you do. So if we're talking about doing an order, if you had your 10 best people watching this video right now, if you had your 10 best people watching the Plan B video online or watching the Plan B DVD, what would you want those 10 people to do? So just look at that there, A, B, C, or D. And whatever you thought is what you should probably do, okay? Again, so now the next thing that we're going to talk about, I don't want to spend a lot of time on your order. I just want to show you how, one, people are going to do what you do, and two, that it takes money to make money. All right, number 3. The third thing I want to talk about is Doobly Network versus Doobly.com. One of the things that you need to make very clear to work with new people is that they want to come in as a builder first and then be their own customer. Now you're going to meet people that go, well, Doobly looks really cool, but I want to kind of check it out. And let me tell you the problem with checking it out. Checking it out is a code word for losing money. In other words, if someone comes in as a VIP customer and they're your customer, they're not their own customer, right? In other words, you want someone to come in on Doobly Network, the business side first. They're a builder, and then they go. So how do you sign up as a builder? Is that the person that's showing you this video is probably already signed you up on Doobly Network / their ID number. You hit join now, very easy sign up page. You go through it, your name, where you live, what country you're in, etc., etc., etc. Pick your package, A, B, C, or D, and now you are what's called a BA, a business associate, okay? Whether that be a team member, a team leader, whatever, you're now a builder. Once you become a builder on Doobly Network, then you go to Doobly.com and you sign in the same way, the same username, same password as you set up for Doobly Network. And it's very important that you do this, okay? We have a whole training on this website, VIP to MVP.com, of how to use Doobly.com in very much detailed, as well as Doobly Network, very much detailed, so you know how to use it. This is not meant to be a detailed, this is to give you of what to do now. So you've emailed us or you sent up for our newsletter on our website. You've got your order, so now you're ready to go. And you know, I had a new person come up to me. They go, I brought my 3 friends, and if they decide to do Doobly, then I'm going to do it. I mean, really? In other words, you want to be the one who's leading the group of people that you're bringing in. So pick your order, get it in, and then they're going to follow what you did. Okay, now we got you signed up on Doobly Network, Doobly.com. You're ready to go. And one thing I want you to write down is your first 90 days is everything. Okay, one of the things we talk a lot about is your story. Okay, so facts tell, stories sell. If any of you have listened to the Trilogy CD sets, you've heard me go into this in great detail. In other words, your story is going to help build your Doobly business. And the first story we want to get is we want you to be a product of the product. What we mean by that is we want you getting cash back using your VIP membership. So in other words, when you're a product of the product, anything that you're going to do, whether it's traveling, come on, we all travel. If you're renting a car, getting a hotel, going on a family trip, anything that you're doing with travel, you want to go to Doobly and use one of our travel portals. When it comes to shopping, you know, I was looking to get some Norton software to get, you know, the viruses on my computer. And as I was looking for it, my daughter's boyfriend said, no, you need to try this one. It starts with a K. I can't remember the name of it. And it was like 19% cash back. Okay, so anything that you're doing, software, you know, shopping, you know, just think of all the things that you do. Always see if you can use Doobly first. And the reason for that is that when you can sit down with your new person and go, look at my first 90 days, you know, I got this much back at Walmart, this much back at Target, this much back at Home Depot. You know, we've got customers that are getting, you know, 20, 50, 100, a couple $100 a month in cash back doing what they're normally doing. And we want you to be a product of the product. In other words, it's very easy to market Doobly when you believe in it. So it's funny, I always tell the story about I was looking to get a Corvette, and the owner of this big Corvette dealer was driving a Ferrari. It turned me off. It amazes me how many people are trying to get other people excited about Doobly, and they're not excited about themselves because they're not a product of the product. You want to emanate that. You want to be able to show people how much cash back you're getting. And again, this will help you, I promise. Okay, the next thing that you want to do is, we're on step number 4, is that you want to make a list. You want to start making a list of people. And again, we have this form on our website, VIP to MVP.com. Now, the reason that you want to be able to make a list, you're going to make 3 groups. 1, you're going to have a group of customers. People you think is a free, premium, VIP customer. Number 2, you want to make a list of partners. In other words, who do you know that owns a mortgage company? Who do you know owns a real estate? Who do you know that's business-minded? Who do you know that owns a coffee shop? Who do you know has a dry cleaner? Any small, medium, or big business that you know, you want to write that down. And again, we have a form that you can print out that will help you with this memory jogger. The second thing you want to do is who do you know with charities, churches, schools, nonprofits? Who do you know with associations? Any group that has a database, you want to make a list of people, because what we want to do is that we want to show them how Doobly could be a benefit to them. All right. The third list of people you want is who do you know that are entrepreneurs? Who do you know that have been in the home-based business before. And you don't want to prejudge anybody. You know, when I first got in this industry in 1995, one of my best friends from church was actually in the same company, and he didn't call me. And I saw him at church. I was like, why didn't you call me? And you know what he said to me? He said, I didn't think that you would do it. And I was told by the owner of that company that my friend made almost $1 million off of me if he had brought me in, but he didn't. Instead, I answered an ad of someone I didn't know. Please don't be naive enough to think that if you don't get involved in Doobly, the people you know won't. They will. They'll just do it with somebody else. So make a list of customers, make a list of partners, and then make a list of entrepreneurs or other builders. Okay, I consider myself to be a professional recruiter. Okay, and it's really, really important that we talk a little bit about how to recruit. Now, I did a whole thing on this website about inviting, but I'm going to give you a couple things here that will really help. Number one is you got to be normal. You know, one of the things when I got involved in Doobly, my goal was to be a vice president within 1 year, and I made vice president in just about a year. And right now, at the rate that my group is growing, we already have one vice president leg. Right now, we've got a handful of other legs that are on track for vice president. And the reason that we're breaking team leaders, team coordinators, and sales directors more than any other group in North America is because of the system I'm about to talk to you about right now. When you look at recruiting people, you have to be normal. In other words, when you're talking to people, you have to use what we call the triangle. And so if you look at this right here, you're going to see a big smiley face. There's you. And then you're going to see another circle with people or your contacts. And whether it's your customers, whether it's your partners or your builders, these contacts trust you in some way, shape, or form. What you want to do is get those contacts that you have in that circle in front of an expert. In other words, if there's you and there's your contacts, they trust you, but they're going to respect and listen to someone they don't know. So in other words, less equals more. The less you tell your contacts, all you want to do is use three things. Number one, you want your contacts to be curious. Okay, don't go puking all over them about Doobly and you're telling them what you thought you remembered from what you heard. Number two is you got to be excited. Okay, excitement is far more important than the depth of your knowledge. And the third thing is urgency. You got to use urgency. Anytime you know that we're on a North American or a world tour, and Michael Hansen and myself, you want to make sure you get your people in front of us. You want to make sure you get your people in front of the leaders that we've got all over the world now. This is very, very important. Now, this is why this works. Let's say that I invited you to go to the website and you watch the Plan B video, or you watch the Doobly Island video, or you watch the Who's Your Coach video, and you love it. See, you love me because I'm the one that said, look, you got to check this out. And you liked what you saw. But if you didn't like what you saw, you thought it was the dumbest thing ever. Who wants to get cash back and money they're going to spend anyway? You know, who wants to make a residual income off money people are going to spend anyway? What you didn't like the expert. You didn't like the open house presentation. You didn't like the Plan B video that's online. You didn't like the Plan B DVD. You and I are still cool because I wasn't the one that was showing it to you. So this trust, respect triangle I'm showing you here is very, very important. The other thing is when inviting people, you want to invite people to come to an open house. You don't want to invite people to come to a meeting. The word meeting is a trigger word that is going to get you a very negative response. The more you invite people to meetings, the more they're going to say, is it a pyramid? Is it Amway? Is it multi-level marketing? And remember, I can't give you a 2.5-day training in this roughly 30-minute training video. What I'm trying to do is give you little nuggets that are going to help you build your group faster in Doobly. So use the word open house. Now, when you're looking at this, there's three groups of people. Some people that we work with are higher than us. So maybe you have a friend that's a doctor, a lawyer, a successful business person. Some people are lower than us. In other words, they look up to us. They don't do quite as good as we do. But most of us watching this hang out with people who are the same as us. Okay? So when you're inviting someone who's higher than us, someone that we look up to, you want to ask them for help or their opinion. Listen, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, I know that you make a lot of money. I really look up to you. I need your help. I want your opinion. Check out this website. Check out this DVD and tell me what you think. You want to get yourself out of the way. People that look up to us, look, You tell them what to do because that's what they're used to. Look, be dressed sharp. I'm picking you up. I'm taking you to an open house. But when it comes to people that are the same as us, which is the majority, you got to talk about someone important. When you look at this trust, respect triangle, there's you, there's your contacts, here's your expert. The more you build that expert up, the more they're going to listen. If you're using the DVD, the Plan B DVD, you have to build that DVD up. I'm going to say, listen, Jerem, I need you to watch this DVD. I need to get it back from you in a couple of days. You know what? This DVD could change your life. I'm building that up. When you're going to an open house with one of our team coordinators or sales directors, one of our trainers, listen, you got to come see this guy. Listen, you got to come see this woman. She's amazing. You got to use what's called edification. Edification means that you're building something up to where you can get someone else to look at it and take it serious. Because what you're doing is you're building up the value. And see, the value is what is so important. So when you're inviting people and you're recruiting people, it's very important to use these little pieces of information I'm giving you here. Now, the sixth thing that we're going to talk about is our system. And I want to try to do this very, very quickly. Number one, the number one thing that I use is the website. VIP to MVP.com is my filter. If someone watches that video, we have people here that were here tonight that have got people that are making six-figure a month incomes involved in Doobly, going to our upcoming event because they watched that Plan B video. That Plan B video is an IQ tester. If someone watches that video and doesn't want cash back and money they're going to spend, and they don't want to make residual income off of helping families get cash back and helping other people get promoted, you just saved yourself 30 to 60 minutes of your life. Do you really think that you're going to do a more thorough presentation than the Plan B video with all the effects, all the things that were put into that? I'm telling you, that is one of the best videos in my 20 years of being in this industry I've ever seen. That video is going to do a lot more work, and it will work for you 24/7. So you want to make sure that you get people, number one, to the website. Now, all the things I'm sharing with you is exactly what I did, by the way, to go vice president. Okay? Now, let me ask you this on a quick little side note. If you were sitting next to me and we were taking a test, like remember high school and college, and it was a true or false test or multiple choice, and you got a 97% on your score, and I copied you true for true, false for false, or A for A, C for C, what would my score be if I copied what you did in school? That's right, I get a 97%. So if what I'm sharing with you right now is what I did to go vice president, and you did what I did, what would happen to you? You get my point? So please pay attention to this part of this video. So number one, use the website. Number two is you want to use our webinars. Okay, we do a webinar in every time zone, 9 o'clock Eastern, Central, Mountain, and Pacific. Now I know a lot of the leaders do webinars, and they're amazing webinars, but we want all of you to know that in our team, we do a webinar 7 days a week in all 4 time zones, and these webinars are very effective at getting people to sign up in your business. Okay, now, the third thing is the Plan B DVD. This DVD is a game changer, and let me tell you why. There's certain people that won't watch a movie or a video on a website. Okay, and when you give them a DVD, what you have the ability to do is you have the ability to get a second date with them. So let's say that I'm out and about and I bump into Sherry. Let's say I'm out and about and I bump into Kelly. Let's say I'm out and about and I bump into Fred or Bob or Ed, whoever. I have the ability now to go, listen, have you seen the DVD Plan B? And they go, well, no. I go, listen, a buddy of mine gave this to me, and I got it in my backpack, or I got it in my briefcase, or ladies, you got it in your purse, or whatever. And I go, listen, this DVD changed my life, and I need you to check it out. So now I hand it to them, and I go, but I need it back in 24 to 48 hours because I have other people that want to see it. I'm building the value up. Now watch what happens. So I call them up. I call up Sherry. I call up Bob. I call up Ed and say, listen, did you watch the DVD? They're going to say yeah or no. I go, listen, man, I need to get it back. I have someone else that wants to see it. I now have a reason to meet them again. Now let's talk a little bit about the numbers with the Plan B DVD. So just stop and think about this. Let's say you have 100 DVDs. You got your name, your email, your Doobly website, It's all your information. A little sticker maybe it says, warning, this DVD could change your life, in some neon color to get their attention. And you have 100 of them, and you're handing them out like hotcakes, like I just explained. Building the value, going, look, I need this back in 24 to 48 hours. And let's say you only get 10%. You have 10 new builders in your business. So do the math on that. If you had 10 people come in as a team member, what would you make? Right? 5%. If you had 10 people come in as a TLA and you're a team leader at 10%, what would you make? I mean, you can see this is very lucrative. But most importantly, those 10 people go, well, what did you do? And you go, I got 100 DVDs and handed them out like hotcakes. They do the same thing. Well, guess what? Now you have 1,000 DVDs circulating in your team. And again, you only get 10%. Now you have a team of 100 people that are duplicating. But guess what those 100 people do? That's right, they all get 100 DVDs. Now you have 10,000 DVDs circulating. What's 10% of 10,000? You now have 1,000 builders in your business. Do you know that if all of you watching this would simply just use the system by using the website, using the webinars, using the Plan B DVD like I just explained, that you will be bringing people in your team that you don't even know who they are, right? In other words, this is happening to people right now that are using the system, and I know it'll happen for you as long as we can get you to use our turnkey system, and that's why a system is so important. Why do you think people pay $1 million for McDonald's? It's not because their French fries are good for you or their hamburgers taste good. It's because they know it's going to work. They know it's going to work. And we know, those of you that are following our system, this is working for. Okay, now, the other thing that we use is what's called an open house. In other words, we don't do meetings. We did an open house here tonight. We do open houses in professional offices like this. We do open houses or what's called a home party. The main thing we want you to know is that we're very, very professional. And if you look at some of the testimonials and you look at the people that are part of our team in MVP, you're going to notice that we attract a very high caliber person. And the reason for that is that we teach people how to recruit professional people. So an open house is basically kind of what you saw in the Plan B video online or the DVD. What we're able to do is have a presentation that is very logical. And I don't have time to go into that right now. Just know our open houses are very, very effective. And remember, we don't do meetings in MVP. If you want to go to an AA meeting or an Amway meeting or a Mary Kay meeting, they do meetings. What we do in MVP is we do open houses, and you want to get the verbiage correct. You want to get the vocabulary down, right? It's very, very important. Now, the fifth thing that we're going to talk about is our CD set, the Trilogy CD set. If you're serious about making a six-figure, making a seven-figure income in Doobly, it is very important that you listen to this Trilogy CD set. If I was going to give this CD set a second name, it would be called All That I Know. In other words, what you're really doing is you're taking the 20 years that I've had in this industry and you're crunching it down into these 3 CD sets, and you're able to turn your car into an MVP university. In other words, instead of listening to music that doesn't make you money, instead of listening to the news that's all negative, why not put information in your head that's going to help you change your family tree? And I can tell you that this CD set will do that. The last thing I want to talk about is our system goes, is our training program. The main reason that Michael Hansen is so excited about traveling North America with our team is because our team is trained better. When you look at all the team coordinators, all the sales directors, I think I'm around 20, 25 sales directors that our team has broke. Now we're breaking vice presidents. It's because our team is trained better. When you look at the Navy, do you want to be just in the Navy or do you want to be a Navy SEAL? When you look at the Army, do you want to be someone that's in the Army or do you want to be an Army Ranger? The difference between those groups of people is what? Is training. When you look at the difference between people that play college and people that play pro football or pro baseball or pro basketball, it's training. When you look at, singers have coaches that help them, and movie stars have actors have coaches that help them. Well, who's helping you and me right now build your business? And our training program will save you years off of what I call the school of hard knocks. They say that experience is a really good teacher, but it's also the meanest teacher. Why would you want to go through and make all the mistakes that we can take, and we can take this learning curve between you listening to the CDs of 20 years of information in these 3 CDs called the Trilogy, and then our training program where you get to come and feel it. See, I know you watching this video, it's helping you build your business, which is why we did it. But it's not the same as being in a room for 2 days where we can give you a college education in those 2 days. I don't care if it's a basic, I don't care if it's an advanced, if it's Millionaire Mastery, if it's Champions, if it's leadership, if it's discovery, if it's one of our sporting events. You are not ever going to come to an event that you don't fill up your gas tank. Isn't it funny that you take your cell phone and you know what you do with your cell phone? You charge it. You charge it every night because it runs down. Well, when you get run down, how do you charge yourself? Our training program will charge you. Okay, our training program is a big reason why you'll be able to go out and build a massive organization, because what's happening is not just you're learning the information, your team is learning it at the same time. So again, watch the importance of training video, watch the Who's Your Coach video. It will give you a little idea of why you want to plug it in the system. The last thing I'm going to share with you as we wrap up this video, okay, is the 8 steps of duplication. Okay, my goal is to be 20 wide and have 20 vice president, senior vice president legs that don't need me. What I want to do is I want to go work with Kristen's kids and do wells in Africa. And I want to work with kids that don't have mentors. And I want to do camps and all these things that a lot of you come to our trainings know. That's what I want to be able to do. My passion is working with kids and giving people hope. And I can't wait till I've got 20 vice president, senior vice president legs that don't need me anymore. They're all making a ton of money, and all they want to do is make a difference, and I can go basically be a big kid. I think a lot of you that have hung out with me know that I'm basically a big kid. All I want to do is I want to snowmobile, goof off with my friends, watch my kids grow up, and I want to be able to make a difference before I check out. So my goal is to help all of you do exactly what I've done. What I did with all of my legs is I have all of my legs plugged into the system. 20% of your team is going to do 80% of the work. So the group you're going to work with is the 20%. I can tell you right now, only 20% of my team is going to watch this video you're watching right now. This video is on this DVD and is on this website, and I know the majority of people that go to it aren't going to watch it. That 20% is who's going to want to get this information and apply it. Remember this, all the information in the world will appear as ignorance without action. Okay, how many of these legs, whether you've got 3 legs or 5 legs or 10 legs, do you have plugged in? How many are on the webinars? How many of them are you handing out the DVDs like I showed you? How many of them are going to the trainings? How many of them are in the cities when we do a world tour or a North American tour? How many of your legs are doing the things that I'm showing you? And if you spent $1 million for 20 McDonald's, would you know what those numbers were? And the answer is, of course you would. So here are the 8 steps that you have to do to become successful in Doobly. Number 1, you have to invite people. No one's going to walk up to you and go, wow, I just had this vision and thought I should talk to you. Do you have something I can do? You got to invite people. You got to talk to people. Number 2 is, do they show up? The best way to get people to show up is to pick them up. The best way to get someone on a webinar is to call them and make sure they're on the webinar. The best way to have someone watch the DVD is to watch it with them and act like it's the first time you ever saw it. Always act like you did when you were brand new. Do you know how many times I've watched this video with someone? Do you know how many times I've watched the Who's Your Coach and acted like it was the first time I ever saw it? You have to make sure that if you want them to show up, you have to be willing to show up yourself. Number 3 is, do they see it? In other words, you're going to invite people who show up that don't see it. What you're going to love about Doobly is way more people see Doobly than see a traditional home-based business. Okay, number 4, do they become a customer? Now remember, you want them to become a builder first and then a customer, but worst case is they at least become a customer. That's number 4. Number 5, do they become a builder? Okay, again, you want people to know, look, it's in your best interest to be a builder and then your own customer. Okay, they're basically giving that 25% away if they're only a customer for you. So make sure they know why they want to be a builder and then their customer. But this is the big one, is number 6. Will they bring you their warm market? Will they bring you their contacts? You have 90 days to help them either get cash back using Doobly as a customer or making money by building a sales team. And if they don't make money in 90 days, they're going to quit. They either make money or they get cash back or they're going to quit. How many of you watching this would pay for your cell phone every month for the 3 months if it didn't work? You wouldn't. So it's important that we are good tour guides. Will they bring you their warm market or their contacts? And this is one of the reasons why you want to be listening to the CDs and why you want to be plugged into the training program. What is one good person worth to you? What's a vice president leg worth? You get my point. Okay. Number 7, do they plug into the training program? I personally only work with people that go through all 8 steps to duplication because I know there isn't one they can get rid of. They have to do all 8 if they're going to become successful. Training. Would you become a lawyer without going to law school? Would you become a doctor without going to medical school? Would you become a fighter pilot without going to flight school? The answer is no. In Doobly, if you want to save them time, get them in our training program and treat it like a university. Treat this business like a new language that you have to learn from scratch. The last step is step 8 is duplication. You're not going to get duplication if people aren't inviting, if they don't show up, if they don't see it, if they don't become a builder or a customer, if they don't bring you their contacts. You've all heard, it's not who you are, it's who you know. All of you watching this know enough people right now to go vice president, to go senior vice president. It's all about the exposure and how they see it. If you don't have a system, how do you get someone involved in your business who's better than you? You're going to find that by using the system, as your group gets deeper and deeper and deeper, the quality of people is going to get better and better and better. What step of these 8 steps of duplication can you take out and become successful in Doobly? And the answer is there isn't one. Do me a favor. When it comes what to do now, what I have just done is I've explained to you in this video of what you do if you will do what I just shared with you. Explain in this video what part you can leave out. Right? If you'll simply use these principles I'm sharing with you, I can tell you that you're going to get a massive organization. You're going to have a great customer income, you're going to have a great partner income, and you're going to have a great income off of being a professional recruiter. And what I love about Doobly is that this is the easiest program I've ever been in. You know, the one thing that I would give myself a little bit of credit when I met Sherry was she said, Buck, do you know people better than you? And I was like, yes. And because of having a system like the one that we have for you here, and this system is so good, you guys, that now what we're doing is that we're sharing with the rest of the company. The reason why Michael and myself are doing a lot of these different tours now is because of the fact our system is working so well here, we're now doing it in other parts of the world. So do me a favor, when it comes what to do now or what to do next, make sure your team is watching this video. Make sure your team is on this website because this is why it's so important. You don't want to be a babysitter. Do you want 20 legs with 20, 30, 40, 50, a couple 100,000 people babysitting people? Or do you want them bringing in new customers, bringing in new partners, bringing in new builders? And if you want them doing the second, you have to have a system. Well, if you look at our system with the website, with the DVD, with the webinars, with the open houses, okay, with all the things that we've got, there's no way you're not going to become successful. We appreciate you watching this video. I hope it helps you out. And do me a favor, take this information seriously. And remember, if you spent $1 million to get involved in Doobly, would you do all the things I'm sharing with you right now? And would it be worth it to become a vice president, senior vice president, have that home in Grand Cayman that you qualified for? Maybe you're interested in getting a bunch of stock as well, like a lot of us are. And what if in the next 5 years your life was totally different because you treated this business like you spent $1 million on it? Wouldn't that be worth it? And if you answered yes, we look forward to working with you and getting you in that 20% that's doing 80% of the work, because the people that we spend the most time with are the producers. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you at the top, everybody. Bye-bye.